And I don't have a problem with that. But the problem is that he still lives with his parents. He makes enough money and can afford an apartment for us, a good rented apartment, but I don't know why he won't rent one. I haven't asked him yet, though, but I don't want him to see me as selfish or self-centered. Please, what do you advise that I do? Sheyi is a 27-year-old business development executive who recently got engaged after dating for 2 years. Her fiancé, she says, is not so wealthy, and she doesn't have a problem with that, but the problem is that he still lives with his parents. Now, even though he's not so wealthy, she is very much aware of the fact that he can afford a good rented apartment for them, but she doesn't know why he won't rent one. She says she hasn't asked him yet, but she doesn't want him to see her as someone who is selfish or self-centered. So she's asking, please, what do you advise that I do? What do you advise me to do? What are your thoughts tonight? What are your thoughts tonight? The number to call to advise Sheyi is 07000 917 917. 07000 917 917. Or you can send a text or WhatsApp message to 0703 175 6537. 0703 175 6537. And of course, anywhere you are in the world, you can listen via the website www.wfm917.com. www.wfm917.com. You can also listen live on the app. You can listen live on the Women Radio app by downloading it off of Google Play Store, and you'll be able to listen live. Please, when you call, remember to turn down the volume of your radio. Turn it all the way down so we can have a smooth flow of conversation without any interference. If you also are interested in joining the WhatsApp group chat, the Adult Conversations WhatsApp group chat, go ahead and send in your details. Send in your details on WhatsApp to 0703. These details are your name and WhatsApp contact number. 0703 175 6537. Send these details on WhatsApp to 0703 175 6537, and you will be added onto the group. Remember to indicate interest in joining the group. Now, what are your thoughts concerning the story tonight? Very quickly, I'll take these messages. This one is coming from Chinwe from Ejigbo. Chinwe says, good evening, lady. Let him know that it's better for him to rent a house before both of you get married. And that's from Chinwe from Ejigbo. This one is also coming in. This one, you didn't put your name or your location. This one says, good evening, my sister. Please let him rent his own apartment so that you will enjoy your man. Talking from experience. Okay, if you're listening and you're the one who sent that message, please make sure you put a call through to us in the course of the program. Call me so that we can hear what your experience is like or was like, and then we can learn from that. Of course, she will be listening, hopefully, so she can also learn from it. This one is coming from Elijah from Surulere, who says, good evening. This is the right time now to speak your mind so that you can hear from his own point of view. He probably may not notice that. So sit him down and talk about your worries to him. You need to understand your man. And goes on to say, Sheyi, okay? And that's from Elijah from Surulere. So what do you think? What do you think of what can be done concerning this? Do you think that Sheyi should talk to him about it? She says she doesn't want to. She hasn't spoken to him about it yet because she says she doesn't want to come off as selfish or self-centered. That's an interesting point of view, and it's a valid one. But wouldn't she need an apartment to get married? Or is it that he would rather save money for something else? Is he saving money for something else? The only way to know that is if you speak to him. But she says she hasn't spoken to him yet. So what is your advice to Sheyi tonight? Go ahead and call in to 07000 917 917. You can also send in your text or WhatsApp message to 0703 175 6537. Hello, good evening. Hello. All right, please call me back if you can. This is still Adult Conversations on your Women Radio WFM 91.7.
WFM 91.7.
They keep wondering, say I'm unstoppable, how I'm unstoppable. Some try to slow me down, but I'm undraggable. Yes, I'm undraggable. Take our free limited browsing, this one in my dose. For the phone that I'm trying, we are the network, we are the
Get and stay connected to the Wi-Fi network for unlimited internet experience that keeps you one step ahead in all your browsing needs. SpectraNet, the Wi-Fi network.
My name is Ashego, and I'm the village man. All of una wey like to blame us village people because una business no dey do well. Say una think say we no get our own issue. I beg you, we village people no get your time off. Check yourself first.
Village people are the reason your business isn't growing. Introducing MoneyPoint, a business bank that helps you realize your business dreams with easy access to quick loans, ease of payment collections, and general business management tools. Visit www.moneypoint.com and let's help you power your business dreams. MoneyPoint, powering dreams.
Hey guys, it's Simi.
Just stand up. It's Tenny McNabb.
Alright, I know I like it of web Shaggy.
It's me, Mama G.
Okay, you don't link your NIN. Make sure you link your NIN with go today.
Dial star 109 hash.
Now 109 hash.
Link your NIN to new or existing bill number.
Simple.
We are going to show you 20,000 naira bonus after you don't link out.
20,000 naira for free.
Yes, so free.
What are you waiting for?
Grab on my city hall.
Thank you, girl.
The big question.
Corruption is, in fact, is increasing more. We never had a snake and whether Saturn and swallowing money.
Why?
Everything has increased.
Conversational, controversial, and borderline disruptive. The big question.
Mondays to Fridays, 12:05 p.m.
On your Women Radio WFM 91.7.
Political arena.
The largest religious institutions in Nigeria have flourished in enforcing the law, in ensuring that members are safe.
For 180 million people, one country, one capital, 26 states, 469 national assembly seats, 774 local government areas. This is Nigeria.
Stop doing this play game. It's not only fighting corruption, fighting opponents, it's fighting the one. All them in the past.
How well do you know the political terrain of Nigeria? Today, there's no such thing as keeping out of politics. All issues are political games, and we are the players.
Political arena.
Wednesdays, 11:30 a.m.
On Women Radio at WFM 91.7. Political arena, politicking at all levels.
I feel that there's some sort of lack of professionalism in this because we're talking about 100 lives. Government has also put in place a structure to make it look like what they have in mind. How do we stop crime in the society? Because at the end of the day, if a man cannot provide for his wife anymore, he looks for all that means. Because we should arrest Nigeria from
Mondays through Fridays from 9 to 5 a.m.
WFM 91.7 will bring you ladies from across Nigeria's political zones, dissecting, discussing, and disagreeing on topical issues of the day. You too can join the conversation by tweeting us at WFM917 with the hashtag Panorama. WFM 91.7, the voice of women.
Still Women Radio, WFM 91.7, and this is still Adult Conversations, where we share real life issues and discuss matters relating to the heart. Tonight, we're profiling the story of She. She is saying that she's 27 and a business development executive. She recently got engaged after 2 years of dating. She says her fiance is not so wealthy, and she doesn't have a problem with that. But her real problem here is that he still lives with his parents. She says though he's not so wealthy, she knows enough about him to know that he has enough money and can afford a good rented apartment for them, but she just doesn't know why he would not rent one. She says she hasn't talked to him about it yet, but she doesn't want him to see her as selfish or self-centered. So, what is the advice to she? This is where she needs the advice. She says, what would you advise that I do? So what would you advise she to do tonight? Call in to 07000 917 917. You can also send your text or WhatsApp messages to 0703 175 6537. 0703 175 6537. What are your thoughts tonight? What do you think that she should do? She says, I don't want him to see me as selfish or self-centered. So she doesn't want to come off as somebody who's, being focused on the fact that, we're going to get married, where we're going to live, and not focus on what he wants. But, she's saying that's her concern. So what do you think that she should do at this point? 07000 917 917 is the number to call. 0703 175 6537 is the number to send your text or WhatsApp messages to. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. Please, I need more volume from you. Your voice is very low.
Okay, good evening. Can you hear me now?
Well, much better than the previous one. I would appreciate more, but thank you for calling.
Okay. Am I good to go now?
Yes, you are good to go. Thank you so much. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Okay, my name is Desmond. I'm calling from Ojo.
Hello, Desmond. Thank you for calling. Let's go ahead.
Yeah. Regarding your story, if I should get you clear, there's a lady who has a boyfriend who is still living with his parents. She loves him, and I guess what she wants to ask if you guys should leave. I don't understand. Like, the guy is not willing to leave his parents' house also.
Yes, he doesn't look like he's willing. Yes, thank you. He can afford it. So she's saying she hasn't talked to him about it, but she doesn't want to come off as selfish or self-centered. So what do you think she should do?
Okay. First off, naturally, a woman, or let me use some women, basically love space. You get. I mean, when a woman want to go see a man or wants to be with a man, she wants that our time as a me time between she and a man in their own space, no matter how little it is. But if the guy is a royalty, maybe he's a king or a prince, maybe something like that, those like Nigerian movies that we see prince stay in their father's house and go to become king, all those kind of a thing. It's a different case. But even at that, I still believe the man, if she should talk about it to the guy, if they want to settle down, he should leave his father's house and go and get an apartment, no matter how small. Because even the Bible says, a man will leave his parents' house and go and cleave to his wife, and they two become one. So you can't be in your father's house and claim you're a man. You might be taking responsibility until you stay on your own, you discover your real self. Yeah, nobody's watching you. You and your partner plan together, no matter how small. You can start from the scratch, and it can be a skyscraper. That's also what I believe. So she talk to the guy about it,
of course.
and also understand the reason why he's not yet taking the house.
Okay.
Because probably the guy had a plan of traveling out very soon, and just like taking an apartment would just be a waste of money. So there must be a reason. If there is no concrete reason, then I think she should now weigh her options. So she could go ahead or she should stop.
Okay. Thank you very much for calling, Desmond. Enjoy the rest of the evening.
Thank you.
All right, Desmond from Ojo, first caller tonight, and he's of the opinion that she needs to talk to him about it. He doesn't think that she should just sit down and wonder what the issue is. He thinks that Sheyi's fiance would do better as a man by himself, particularly because he wants to settle down with Sheyi. So he's saying that she should talk to him about it, except for the fact that he might be royalty, where he would need to stay in his father's palace and all of that. But aside that, if he's not royalty, then he will need to settle down by himself and be able to be responsible for his new family. So he's saying, as long as this is the person you intend to get married to, he is advising Sheyi to talk to him about it, then maybe know of his plans. If he has any plans that he feels like renting an apartment would hinder, then she should talk to him and understand what those plans are going forward. Thank you very much, Desmond. Thank you for calling. All right, this is a message coming in from Nelson from Akuti. Nelson says, good evening. I think she should talk to him about it so she can know his mindset. Maybe he has not noticed it. She needs to speak up to know. Maybe the guy has made a provision for that because some men like to surprise their wives. And this is from Nelson from Akuti. And this is also a very valid point. This is actually a very cogent point. This is something that could potentially happen, but she wouldn't know about it until she's told. So he's advising her to talk to him about it and hear what he says. So maybe he hasn't noticed it, and when you bring it to his attention, you realize that this is something that is important. But wait, we want marry wife, we don't say go. You will get separate house where your wife go stay. Except if now those rich people where they stay for family house, they get different area for that same family house. Where the parent don't tell us, say, you know what, if you marry finish, now be your own flat, so you go stay for here, no need to parent. Maybe, but if that is not the case, well, I guess there's only one way to find out. What are your thoughts? Hello, good evening.
Hello,
Good evening. Thank you for calling. May I know your name and where you're calling from?
this is Tokpa from Magbo.
Tokpa from Magbo. How are you tonight?
I'm fine. How are you doing?
I'm all right. Thank you for calling, Tokpa. Please go ahead.
Yes, concerning this topic tonight. Well, I would suggest that the lady should talk to him. Yes. You should talk to him because I can't imagine, though I have similar situation like your friend too, but eventually they got married in the parents' house. Definitely, it's not going well. Because the parents are like, every little thing, they want to know what is wrong. If the man goes out and comes back, whatever he's bringing, they want to share it. So it's just like Ferdinand that is giving the wife, which is not just because she too did not talk out. She didn't ask when they were planning the wedding and everything. So I suggest you to just call on, just some more courage, call him up, discuss it. It's a red flag already. That is a red flag. So if he's not giving you a reasonable reason for doing that, then I don't see you walking into that marriage. Now, this is just an engagement. And a broken engagement is better than a broken marriage. So you just have to talk to him. Whatever he says, you need to see your own point of view that yes, we need to get an apartment. You can't continue staying with your parents.
Okay. Thank you very much, Tokpa. Thank you for calling.
You're welcome.
Okay, so Tokpa is of the opinion that she needs to speak up. She needs to talk to her fiance and actually get to the bottom of what the issue is. She's saying this particularly in reference to the story of somebody else that she knows who actually did not speak up and did not ask where they were going to live when they were planning the wedding. And eventually they moved to the family house. And she's saying it's not going very well because the parents are involved in practically everything. So she's saying, so that this doesn't become your fate, speak up now, because a broken engagement is better than a broken marriage. That is what Tokwe is saying tonight. This is still Adults Conversations on Women Radio WFM 91.7. What do you think about this story? What do you think that she should do? Hello, good evening.
Yeah, hello, good evening.
Good evening, thank you for calling. Could you turn down the volume of your radio just a little bit, please?
All right.
Thank you so much. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Adeze Amos. I'm calling from Meda, Lagos.
Adeze, thank you for calling. Hope your day has been going well.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
All right, go ahead, please.
Yeah, the topic we are discussing here is quite an interesting one. It depends on where the guy is staying at the moment, because I have an only son. Okay? And then the premises are 2 duplex. Okay, the guy stays on one wing of the duplex where nobody disturbs. So I am of the opinion that even if my son wants to get married, he can stay with us. He's only one we have. And then I won't be nosy. I won't disturb them. They will have their own space. So it all depends, the environment of the place. So that's my own opinion. It's not all parents that are nosy. Find out how maybe the son is living with the wife, watching the son to share whatever you have with them. It's not like that in all cases.
I see. I like that you said this, because this is what Topa was just talking about what some of the parents were doing to somebody that she knows. So thank you very much, Adeze. Thank you for calling.
All right, you're welcome.
Adeze Amos from Egbeda. She's saying not all parents are nosy. Not all parents want to be in their children's business. Now, she has an only son, and they live in a place where he lives on one side of the house, and she lives on one side of the other. She lives on the other side of the house. So at this point, she's saying even if her son gets married, she will not be in his space because he lives on one wing of the house, and it's perfectly fine because he has his own space. So she won't be lonely because she'll see him from time to time, but she won't be all up in his business either, which is what every new couple wants. They want their own privacy, they want their own space, they want to be able to say, oh, this is my space, this belongs to us, which Adeze would gladly give them because the space is theirs, by the way. He lives on that side, his wife would move in, they'll build a family there, and there won't be any form of interference or anything that is coming off as a disturbance. So she's saying not all parents are nosy, not all parents will do this. And if this is the case that applies to Sheyi's fiance, then this is something that she should also consider and also understand if this is the case. So thank you very much, Adeze. Thank you for calling. Yes, please keep your calls coming in. 07000 917 917. That's the number to call. Also send in your text or WhatsApp messages to 0703 175 6537. This is still Adults Conversations.
The best music.
You're listening to WFM 91.7.
Here is a list of excuses that will no longer be accepted.
I beg, give me your hotspot. I want my data, but this one too much.
Please, could you put your Wi-Fi on? I'm out of data and the recharge card seller has closed.
Oh, I'll get recharged though, but I can't find my wallet.
Please, I've got cramps and I can't get up. Can you share your hotspots?
I don't know where my internet token is and I need to quickly buy data. Please, could you share your hotspot till I find it?
Hey, Jumbo, I said buy data. Without recharge customer, I know they ever get changed. How good do Now, there's really no excuse to ever be out of data with Joe Brody Data. Dial star 321 hash to borrow data now and pay later. I beg, I said share your hotspot. This way behind. Make fun and no go fireman. The largest data network, Glow, grandmasters of data.
Have you been a victim of corruption? Do you want to report how corruption affects you and your community? Send an SMS or WhatsApp message to 0703 175 6537.
What's that? What happened? See, I just bought 1,000 naira Glow data, and instead of the usual, I got 3.9 gigabytes. Guy, I swear, that's how I saw you too. I bought 2,000 naira data yesterday, and I got a whopping 9.2 gigabytes. Wow! Glow data is just always bigger. Yep, and always better. I swear down. Babe, why are you moving your SIM?
I'm leaving this network and getting a Glow SIM immediately. And I'm not giving you my new number. You're on probation. Why didn't you tell me about this new Glow data plans?
Glow new data plans. Always bigger, always better. Babe, sorry now. Yes, get a Glow SIM card today and enjoy bigger, better data on the Glow network. Just dial *777# and choose your plan. And if you link your NIN to your Glow line, up to free 20,000 naira bonus awaits you.
Plenty women they talk say, Abba, she and me go still come cook food this 10 o'clock where I just return from work. Upon say this man don dey house since 6 o'clock. One thing woman no go see for Niger market. Now some woman look me finish tell me say, Madam, I beg pack that certificate for corner. Now housewife fit you. Imagine my sisters. What do these men want self? Now food, respect, I been in love. We for like no, because we don't tire. Respect kwa. Love one thing. On top the program na woman matter, we dey gist every matter when concern women. Whether na inside life matter, relationship talk, political union, business, or women health matter, e dey brekete for ground. Every Wednesday, 3 p.m. for your Ogbonge Women Radio, 91.7. Na woman matter, na every for you.
Think you know current affairs? Are you a guru in mathematics? Can you name all the countries in the world? Is your pronunciation or spelling top-notch? Useful. On Women Radio, WFM 91.7 is a program that takes you on a learning ride into the world of English, mathematics, art, and much more. Radio School.
Thursdays, 3:05 p.m. Radio School is supported by City of Knowledge Academy.
Still adult conversations on your Women Radio WFM 91.7, and it's 23 minutes to 7. And this is still adult conversations where we share real life issues and discuss matters relating to the heart. My name is Sonto Titilayo Ajama. If you're just tuning in, you're very welcome. Tonight we're profiling the story of Sheyi. Sheyi is saying that she's 27, she's a business development executive, and she recently got engaged after 2 years of dating. She says her fiancé is not so wealthy, and she doesn't actually have a problem with that. For her, the problem is that he still lives with his parents. According to her, he makes enough money and can afford a good rented apartment, but he doesn't want one. She doesn't know why he doesn't want to rent one. Now, according to her, she says she hasn't spoken about it to him yet because she doesn't want to come off as selfish or self-centered. She doesn't want him to see her as selfish or self-centered. So she's asking, please, what do you advise that I do? What do you advise that I do? So what is the advice to Sheyi tonight? What is the advice to Sheyi tonight? Going on Facebook. This one is coming in from Nicholas Isaac Saporichi, who says he needs to move out and insist. If not, please take a walk. He's starting a new home and says he has the money. He should just do the needful. Sam 75 Pen is saying, you haven't discussed with him, so there's no cause for fright. I will advise you to sit him down on it. He probably could be thinking otherwise. For instance, owning his own home rather than leasing. He could be harboring to leave once he gets married. I'm sure he won't want to live with you in his parents' home for some sort of privacy. Dogara Dogis Ageda says, look for a good moment, sit him down and talk to him. make sure you're picking some things out of his words. Then you will know if he's really ready or not. Adelaya Escolam Olawale says, firstly, is he the only son? The answer to that is no, he's not the only son. He's the second son in his family. He's not the only son, he's the second son in his family. So just for added information, now you know. Call in to 07000 917 917. You can also send your text or WhatsApp message to 0703 175 6537. If you want your story profiled on Adult Conversations, please send in your story as well as your name and contact number to 0703 175 6537. 0703 175 6537. What are your thoughts tonight? Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. Thank you for calling. Please tell me your name and where you're calling from. Hello, Yemi. Thank you very much for calling. Please go ahead.
This issue, I don't think it's yet ready for discussion. She must have, let's ask the man and why. So that if everybody just saying anything now, we don't know the mind of that boy. That is why before you get married, to discuss everything that you want so that you don't become a problem when you get in. And again, about 99.5 mother-in-law, they always have issue with their daughter-in-law. It is very common. So, living with his parents, the lady should think twice. And let him know the mind of that young man. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Yemi. But please let me correct the statistic you gave. I know that some mother-in-laws can be cantankerous, they can be difficult, but I don't think that it's up to 99.5. Yemi Kilodi, 99.5K.
Let me tell you, I'm in my 80s, I'm approaching my 80s. What I have seen in the past, I'm telling you, I got from experience.
Okay. All right. Well, I still don't think that's the case, but thank you.
I don't say all of them.
Yes. Yes.
The last number.
All right.
So they will enjoy themselves. There will be trouble later. But now we can't say that is the issue of that young man because the lady have not
spoken to him. Okay. All right. Thank you very much for calling. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your night. Okay, Yemi from Ibafo, and he's saying that right now there's really nothing to worry about. This is in line with one of the messages we got on Facebook, saying that there's really nothing to worry about just yet. And this is because she doesn't know why this is the case. So Yemi is saying, talk to your fiancé first. Talk to your fiancé first. Your fiancé may have other plans, but it's also important to know that this space, you need it. You need your own private space. He needs to understand that this is important. According to him, he says a good amount of mother-in-laws do not necessarily see eye to eye with their daughter-in-laws, which I disagreed with, but to a large extent, he seems to be convicted about that particular point of view. Well, I do know that there are mother-in-laws who don't see eye to eye with their children, but I don't know for a fact if it's the larger percentage. But let's be honest, he's saying that you will need that space, you will need that privacy that a good home or a separate home can get you and your future husband, or your husband when you do get married. So it's important that you have that space to yourself and to your new home, to be able to build that new home by yourself. But he's also emphasizing the fact that she hasn't spoken to him yet. And until she does, she wouldn't know what exactly is on his mind. So as I said, this was in line with the message from Sam Sanctified Pen on Facebook. So what are your thoughts concerning this? All right. right, go ahead, call me back. Call me back if you can. What do you think about the story? Is this a situation of you talk to him first before you make a mountain out of a molehill, or is it not possible that she could know him well enough to know that he doesn't have any other plans, or he does have some plans but he doesn't want to share it yet? You know, situations like that. Hello, good evening. Good evening. Thank you very much for calling. Please, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
How are you today?
I'm all right. Thank you for calling. All right. So, yeah, I'm beginning to, don't worry, it's getting better. Thank you very much for calling. Hope your day went well.
Yeah, I'm doing well. Thank you.
All right. Please go ahead.
Let me confirm what the last caller said. I disagree with him.
Okay.
I am married for about 16 years.
For how long?
I've been about 16 years now.
16 years, okay.
I just grew up. Thank God my mom is still alive. She had me cut my number. She had me cut my number twice a year. So she cannot stay 2 weeks without hearing from my wife. So I disagree with what that man said on that aspect. That's on that. Now on the real issue. Sorry. My younger brother also is based in the village. And he's married. I've not heard my mom have the issue with my brother's wife.
Okay.
She has not complained about her, and the young woman has not complained about my mother. You understand me? My mom, we have 3 boys, 4 ladies. All the 4 ladies are married. Me and my elder brother we have not been at home for a long time. So that young man here is the one is the one shouldering most of our responsibilities as taking care of our mother, him and the wife.
Okay.
So this is the people that are shouldering our responsibilities because they're the ones who know this.
Yes.
Now, in this case, what this lady needs to do is, what is the relationship between this young man and the parents? Is he a subject to the parents or a self-sufficient young man that is living under the parents' house independently? These are 2 different things. You understand me? So you might be living in your parents' house, but you are totally independent. And you might be living somewhere else, but you are dependent on your parents. They are in charge of whatever that is going on wherever you are living, even though you are not together.
Yeah, you have a point. You have a point.
Yes. These are the things she needs to find out before concluding whether to go on or whether to.
Hello, are you there? Okay. I honestly think that the message was passed. He's of the opinion that similar to his brother who stays at home in the village with his mother and his wife, the younger brother is married, by the way, he's saying that if Sheyi's fiance's case is similar to his younger brother's case, which is he lives under the same roof with his parents, but he lives independently of his parents. He doesn't ask them for much. He shoulders a lot of the financial responsibilities in the home. He's basically there, and they can see him, they can feel him. He's there for company, so to speak. And then he has a good relationship with them. He's saying if he has a good relationship with them, he's independent of them. He can speak for himself. He can have his own opinions. He covers majority of the financial responsibilities. The only thing that's left here is the fact that he actually doesn't live away from them. He says as long as all these things are covered, particularly the relationship aspect with his parents, then she probably doesn't have anything to worry about. Young is saying that Sheyi would not need, let me rephrase that, Sheyi would not need to bother much if he has a good relationship with his parents and he lives independently of them. Because there are people who live away from their parents but are still wholly dependent on them. So he's saying that is something that she needs to consider and weigh her options. All right, call me back. Now, this particular point is one very valid one. Very valid. So somebody mentioned the point of he could have other plans that would require him not needing to rent an apartment. Rather use the money for something else. And then this is another point saying if he has a good relationship with his parents, then maybe there's nothing to worry about when it comes to renting his own place. Hello, good evening.
Yes, hello, good evening.
Good evening. Thank you for calling. What's your name?
Yeah, good evening. This is Miss Goodness calling from Norway.
Miss Goodness, how you doing today?
I'm fine, and you?
I'm all right. Thank you for calling.
Yeah, I really like the story you're talking about today. Is really okay. So, regarding on the lady, okay, let me start with, I have an experience with my elder sister. When she was in courtship, she had a similar issue with this lady. Then the husband told her that after their court marriage, that he would leave the family house. And the family house, the man is the first son. There are two sons, two brothers. Then the husband is the first son of that family. And that family, the mother is there, the elder sister is there. And when they were still on courtship, he told my sister that after the court marriage, that they will leave, he will rent apartment outside. The man was okay. So after the wedding, everything, he did not rent that house. Up to now, they are still living in family house. Later on, my sister started regretting the reason why she entered into marriage, because she was really passing through hell.
With the family?
Either from the mother, yes, either from the mother-in-law, or from the sister. So for that lady, I don't really think it's a nice idea, whether love or no love. Now is the right time for her to take a step. Let her try to know what is really in the guy's mind that makes him to still be living in family house.
Okay.
As far as it's the family house, let her not try to enter into that marriage if the guy insists that he's not renting an apartment. That's my own advice to her. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Miss Goodness. Thank you for calling. Miss Goodness is of the opinion that when you talk to him about it, talk to him and let him know that it's not a good idea to live under the same roof as your parents or in the family house when you're married. She's relaying a story. She relayed a story of somebody she knows. And in this case, this person's fiance did tell her at the time that after we do our court wedding, then we'll move out of this place, which she believed. But they got married in that place, and they're still living there, and they're going. She's not feeling good. She's going through a lot, according to Miss Goodness, in the hands of the mother-in-law, the sister. She's basically going through a lot in the hands of the members of the family of her husband, which, of course, does not spell good news when you think about it. So she's saying, so that this doesn't become your fate, she insists that he moves out of his family house. She literally said, forget love. Forget love. Forget waiting. Forget love. Talk to him about it and make sure that he moves out of that house so that you don't stand to be like this person that she relayed her story. Coming to mind is Adeze Amos's story earlier, or call earlier, when she said that, she's a mother, she has an only son, and in this case, she can, the other wing of the house, that's a twin duplex, I believe she said, he lives on one end of the house, she lives on the other wing of the house, and they both can coexist beautifully without any form of anybody being in anybody's space. So she's saying that, Adeze is saying that, if this is the case with she, then this is something worth considering. Why spend money to rent an apartment elsewhere when you can live free under the same space and you will not have any unwanted invasions or any unwanted visitations, basically. So that's Adeze's point of view. But Ms. Goodness is insisting that if he's saying that he doesn't want to leave, make him understand that it's important that you do so that you can have your home to yourself. What is your point of view on this? different points of view so far. That much I can give you. And the truth of the matter is, more people will still call in to say different things, but I want to hear from you. Yes, you're probably looking at your phone or listening from your house or wherever it is that you're listening from. I want to hear what you think about this. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening. This is Blessing from Liverpool.
Hello, Blessing. How's your day going?
I'm good. How are you doing today?
I'm good, Blessing. Thank you for calling.
Okay, so my advice to this lady is she should discuss this with her boyfriend, or I said the other time. I said that babe, we don't need to be living with your parents when we come married. You need to get your own place. Because this place that we are talking about, that's where they brought this boy up. And it don't make sense. He's also training his own children in that same compound, that same man.
Hello? Hello, Blessing? Alright. Again, partially into the conversation, but I believe that she has dropped the meat of what she wants to say. So she's saying she should talk to him. And if this is where he was brought up, she says, I believe this is where he was brought up, and she doesn't think that it will make much sense for him to raise his own children in the very house that he was brought up. So she's saying that it's a much better idea to get your fiancé to rent a different apartment, or just move away from that house, from that family house, so that you can build your home and build your family away from the family house, away from that space. This one is coming in. This message is coming in from Tolu from K2. Tolu says, let her sit him down and talk about it first. If the answer is negative, my sister, please run from your dear life. And then she adds, talking from experience. I believe, Tolu, you're the one who sent a message earlier, and I want to know what this experience is. So call in and share so that she can take home an important lesson from your story. So what is it that is the case? What is it that was that determining factor that made you say, you know what, I can't even deal with this? Did it finally happen, or was it very close to happening where you get too many people in your space? Or did he lie that he was going to move out and then didn't move out, like the other story that Ms. Goodness told us? So what is the case specifically? Is it really a problem to live with your new wife in the same home, or with your new husband under the same roof as where your parents live? Is it really such a bad idea? I mean, the point that Young was making about family, the connection, the relationship, is that not something to consider? All right, go ahead and call back if you can. I'm going on Facebook to read more messages, and this one is coming in from Meglin T. Outer. Meglin says, my dear sister, if really you guys understand each other, sit him down, discuss all this with him, and let him understand that by doing such makes him think far, and this will even make him to be able to face all the challenges that may arise and handle them better. So she is pointing out the point that if he's staying with his parents, he might be dependent on them and might not have the foothold to handle things by himself. But if he lives away from them, they'll build that family together, face those challenges together, because let's face it, challenges will come. They will most definitely come. So she's saying you will face these challenges together and you will build from nothing. This is in line with something that I think Desmond said at the beginning of the program. So what are your thoughts concerning this? So many schools of thought already, and we're barely an hour into the program. So this just says that this is something that a lot of people hear about, and this is something that a lot of people experience as well. And there are a lot of relative experiences as regards the success of this one thing, living with your parents or living with your husband's parents under the family roof or in the family house. Different experiences, different people have different things to say, but I want to hear from you. So call me. Hello, good evening.
Good evening, ma. This is Vincent from Aboro.
Thank you very much for calling. Hope your day went well. Please go ahead.
Yeah, madam. My contribution is that if the girl really trusts herself, because I always say this. If you trust yourself, that is when you can able to trust another person. If you trust yourself, that even if there's a problem in that home, where you want to marry husband and enter into that family, that you can make peace, you can create peace in that family. Then, if actually she prayed and asked God Almighty, and God say, yes, this is the husband I have for you. Let her go in and marry the young man. If the young man stay there with the parents, fine. The young man decide tomorrow to locate or back from that the family's house, fine. But let her see herself, have that trust in her, have that faith in herself. But starting from now, the marriage, she never get her marriage, she start having doubt in her spirit. It's not a good suggestion. Let her have that trust, that I trust myself. Then if I enter there, there's a problem between my husband and the parents, then me myself can be an instrument to make peace there. There's something that needs to happen. When you enter there, you see that the people, your husband, then you have to see that the way you do everything, that is very 100% okay, a good daughter-in-law. There's nothing they can do than to follow your way. That's not my advice. Let her not put fear in her life now, whether if you enter there, she's going to live in the family house or not. If you ask God, God said, go, this is your husband, then go, no problem for that.
Okay, Vincent, let me ask you a question. So, Ms. Goodness called earlier and was talking about a situation that she knows of with somebody who her fiancé promised to move out of their family house after the court wedding, but he didn't move out. They basically did court wedding, all the weddings, they got wedded in that house, and they're still living there till today. But she's saying that the mother-in-law, that's the mother of the husband now, and the sister of the husband are making life unbearable for this wife. They're making life difficult for her. So, is this an indication of the fact that she didn't pray enough and she is not the God-given husband, God-given wife to this man, or that he is not her God-given husband? Or is this an indication of the fact that she doesn't trust herself to bring peace into their home? So, because I'm trying to balance what you're saying with some people's realities. This may not necessarily be a case of you can't trust yourself to bring peace. Sometimes some people are just impossible. And in cases like that, what is she supposed to do? Like in this story now that I just mentioned.
You know, what works for Mr. A is not something that's going to work for Mr. D.
Of course.
Everybody has his own luck. Everybody has his own luck. You understand me now? So if he takes herself very well, you understand me? Because that lady that married the young man entered here, he starts suffering now. Maybe the young man is not the husband of that lady. Because God is the only one that can give you a good gift. And when you give you a good gift, he can never ask someone anything. God, as you go, the way you go, whatever you need in that place, God is going to provide for you. If there is any mistake there, then you not go back to God and say, God, I'm not the one that asked me to go. Why am I facing all those challenges? Then you see the way God is going to turn everything around.
All right.
That's my contribution.
Thank you very much, Vincent. So, what are you saying specifically to Shay now?
Well,
what is your advice specifically to Shay? That she should pray about it, or?
Yes, continue. If she pray about it, let her relax her mind first. You know, before you drag seat, you're going to sit down. You first of all make a place you're going to put your seat first. Let the husband see her goodness. Let the family, the husband, the parents see the kind of person she is. Even if there's trouble in that family, then God can use her to settle that matter, settle that problem in that family. That's what my own understanding.
All right. Thank you very much, Vincent. Thank you for calling.
God bless you.
All right. Vincent is of the opinion that she needs to pray a bit more. She needs to pray so that she can truly see if this man, if her current fiancé is the man for her. He's also talking about trusting yourself, trusting in your ability to be the peace that this family would need if they have any issues so far. He's saying this from a perspective of you've not entered the marriage yet, and you're already worried about what's going to happen, how it's going to happen, how it's going to play out. You're worried about the things that have not even happened yet. So he's saying that as long as you have prayed and God has given you confirmation that this man is your husband, then you will have peace when you get there, because God gives good blessings according to him, which is true. So he's saying that you should trust in yourself and calm down, be calm, knowing that everything will be okay as you go on. So he's saying trust in yourself and make sure that you have a good relationship with these people. But of course, still talk to your fiance. Still talk to your fiance about it. Now, talking about cantankerous people who are just seemingly impossible when it comes to relating with them. The subject of mother-in-laws or father-in-laws or sister-in-laws being impossible is a reality, and this is a sad reality, might I add. And this is because, well, it does happen to people, like it or not. That it's not happening to you doesn't mean it's not happening to anyone else. So, different strokes for different folks. But at the same time, what is the solution when things like this happen? I mean, there are different people who still go through a lot at the hands of their mother-in-laws, father-in-laws, sister-in-laws, brother-in-laws, and they don't even live in the same house with them. So, is this a case of, we need to strengthen that family relationship? Is that the case? I believe this was Young who was talking about the fact that, was this Young or Desmond? We had a previous caller who was talking about the fact that his younger brother handles things at home with his mother in the village, and he has never heard his younger brother's wife complain about his mother, neither has he heard his mother complain about his younger brother's wife. So he's saying that that relationship is very important. I believe there was another caller who said he hardly talks to, or the same person, who said he hardly talks to his mother. Hardly. His mother could call him 2 times in a year, but within the space of 2 weeks, she would call his wife regularly. This goes back to relationship. So is this a function of the relationship? Should she be concerned about building that relationship just in case when she talks to him, his response is something around the fact that, they just might not be able to move out of that apartment just yet? Is that something she should be considering? What are your thoughts about this? What are your thoughts about the story tonight? It's 6 minutes past 7, and this is Adult Conversations, where we discuss real-life issues and matters relating to the heart. Tonight, we're profiling the story of Sheyi. She's 27, a business development executive, recently engaged to the love of her life, and she has been engaged, or she just got engaged after 2 years of dating. She's saying her fiancé is not so wealthy, he doesn't have a lot of money, but she doesn't have any problem with that, except for the fact that he still lives with his parents. Now, she's saying the money is not the issue, but she also knows that he has enough to rent a good apartment for them. But she doesn't know why he won't do that. She doesn't want to talk to him about it, or she hasn't talked to him about it because she doesn't want to come off as selfish or self-centered. This is a concern for her. So she's asking, what do I do? Call the number 07000 917 917 or send your text and WhatsApp messages to 0703 175 6537. Hello, good evening. Hello? Hello, are you there? All right, please go ahead and call me back when you can. Hello, good evening.
Hello, thank you.
Good evening, thank you for calling.
Yes, now I'm calling back.
Okay.
My line drops there. I'm sorry about that.
All right, please go on very quickly because you've called before.
Yeah, I will. So, as I was saying then, that she needs to find out the relationship between the young man and the parents. That is what is important. I don't know whether you got the point when I said that some people may be living under the parents' roof. They are in control of their own self and their families. While some men are living outside, far from their parents, they say the parents are in control of what is happening within their roof. So if this young one is in the second situation, then she has no option but to move her life on. The young one is in the first category. then they can make a home. Do you understand what I mean now? Let's look at in this setting where you have a large family compound and everybody builds his own house. In the same compound, you build your house, you have your own home, you get married. So as many is in that situation where what happens? You will not force the man to pull his house and go and build it somewhere or go and play somewhere or go and rent a house. When he has a house, it's not that compound. Because the parents are living there. So for me, that doesn't really make sense. So what needs to happen is let us see the young man down. Or monitor him, know the relationship he has with him, especially the mothers. Like I was saying, my mother, I can say that she's my mini God. But she just not look into my face and say anything against my wife.
That's good.
Even my younger brother that is at home, even my younger brother that is at home that is taking much of the responsibility that our representative there. My mother just not say anything or do anything anyhow to the young one and his wife. They are in control. Do you understand what I mean now?
Yes.
They are in control. Yes, we respect her as God, like I say, as our mini God. She has control over us in some certain things. But when it comes to marriage, Mama, we are in control.
All right. Thank you very much, Young.
So she needs to find out from the fiancé and about this
relationship
before she takes the decision.
All right. Thank you for calling. Enjoy the rest of your night. All right. Reiterating what he said earlier about finding out what that relationship is. And finding out in one way can just be asking about it. Finding out in another way can be observing what that relationship is. Finding out in another way can be participating in that relationship. So depending on whether they've been introduced, whether she has any kind of relationship already, but it's important to know what the nature of that relationship is, because if she would eventually end up living in that house, they will need to have a good relationship. All right. So this one is a message on Facebook coming from Adeleye Eskolom Olawale, who says she has to sit him down and ask him, because this doesn't mean she is selfish. She has to sit him down and ask him, because this doesn't mean that she's selfish. Hello, good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening. Thank you for calling. What's your name, please?
My name is Eze Doma.
Eze, can I call you Eze?
Yeah, call me Eze.
Okay, where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Ibafo.
Okay, thank you, Eze. Thank you for calling. Please go ahead, fast.
Okay, like, based on the topic at hand, I would say I'm also facing such dilemma. Because the man has to man up. I man up and I could not tell anymore because the best of even sexual relations, pardon my use of language, and also, compatibility. Not everybody that's so okay, like the mother wants you to be in the same kitchen space with the wife. So I had to, see that, my girl didn't even have to say anything. I had to just see that, this is uncomfortable for me as a man. Although we have a BQ.
Okay.
It doesn't matter. It's uncomfortable for me when I came back from work every day and I see, my mom and my fiancé or my wife to be is right there. They're all up in their space every time, even the TV channels, everything. So I had to just say, let me get my own place and, make everywhere conducive for everybody. But I can't, it should not be left for you to pick between your mother and
your wife.
And that is very, that's where the dilemma comes. That not be a decision that can help both parties, and that there's no how you can avoid that situation that you have to choose either one of them. There's nobody that will not make every relationship that long as it's still in your mother's house. The man just has to man up at the end. And, do her and, be a man's man.
Okay. So you're staying alone now with your wife, right?
No, my fiancé.
Your fiancé, pardon me.
Yeah. I'm just in a 2-bedroom self-con and, doing my number day to day.
All right, that's amazing. Well done, Izzy. Thank you very much for calling.
Thank you very much for listening.
All right, Izzy from Ibafo, and he's saying that he was actually in the same shoes. His fiance and his mother, or his fiance, lived with them for a period of time, and just looking at the dynamics between her and his mother, the family, he realized without her saying anything that situation was not going to be conducive for them all. So some people want to do some things. He mentioned the TV channel situation, and believe me, that may sound so petty, it may sound so little, but it's a major thing. It's a major thing. That TV channel, the remote situation, could be a situation that could lead anywhere. Believe me. Just believe me. So he's saying that so that doesn't happen, he had to work on getting a separate place for himself and his fiance. He never wanted it to get to the point where you have to choose between his mother and his fiance. If they ever got into an argument, or there was ever a toxic situation, or an unsettling situation where they had to now converse, and conversation would evolve into an argument, and before you know it, he will need to take sides. He will break his mother's heart by taking his fiance's side. He will break his fiance's heart by taking his mother's side. So at the end of the day, it was just better off to rent somewhere else, which he did. So could this be Sheyi's situation as well? Could this be Sheyi's situation as well? Or could this be just a situation of let's make do with what we have at the moment? Now, I'm not sure what they have at the moment, but the realities might be different for them. So what are your thoughts concerning this? This is a message coming in from Iwara from Magboro. Iwara says, I know this is Black Africa. I must quickly say that someone's in-laws are good to live with. Why rent a house if your husband's house is very comfortable and probably a big house? Well, therein comes the issue of privacy, because I believe that's the major issue that has come up. Privacy also ties into sexual relations, because this was also one of the points that Izzy made in the earlier part of his comments. So I'm going to read this one also. This one is coming in from Mercy from Garage, Ikorodu Garage, I believe. She says, I'm living in the same house with my father-in-law, mother-in-law, sisters, and brothers. It has not been easy, but notwithstanding, we're planning on moving out because it is never a good idea, no matter the situation involved. So let her talk to him to know his mind. If he is not planning on moving out even before the marriage, then let her call it quits, because it will never work. So never say never, Mercy. Some people, it works for them, but maybe your experience, it has not, and you don't think it will. But please, let's not say never, because that is definitely not fact. So what do you think concerning this? What is your thought on this particular story that we're profiling tonight? It's not as easy as it sounds, and truth be told, that issue of privacy is very important. It's extremely important, particularly if you want to build a family. It's really important. But is that something that you can compromise on if you want to get married and your fiance does not want to rent a different apartment? Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Oluwatosin, calling from Ibafo.
Oluwatosin, thank you for calling tonight. I hope you've been doing well.
Yes, I've been trying to read this number for some days now, but you're telling me that the number I'm trying is not existent. I was confused.
Oh, I'm confused as well, but I'm glad you got through tonight. I mean, this proves that the number is existent, and this is Women Radio 91.7. So you're welcome to say. Thank you for calling. Please go ahead.
So, what I want to say is, this lady, she needs to talk to her fiancé. I don't have to be living in the family house. Because it's like something similar happened to someone I know. Just when they were in a relationship, our fiancé loses his job, so they have to be staying with the family instead of the man to rent an apartment. So they got married, they gave birth to the first child, second child, and she was trying to cope with the mother-in-law, but this mother-in-law, she's not the person that you can say, okay, let me even manage. And this sister-in-law too, their root is like they turn the woman to a slave for herself, and she be the one to fetch water, wash her brother-in-law's clothes, mother-in-law, father-in-law, everything. Still, the one when she gave birth to the second child, they will take the baby from her. They say, go and be washing clothes. Instead of you to be enjoying, they say, be washing clothes and be fetching water. So, when the lady got tired, she had to break out. So the mother-in-law was like, okay, the tenant turned to issue in between she and her mother-in-law. So our husband was around the house. So the mother-in-law was like, you need to choose one between me and your wife. And the man was saying, like, I can't choose. This person, she's the mother of my children, and you are my mother. I can't choose. So the man had to just leave the house, find a way to get an apartment. The woman support her husband to get an apartment. Now they are living happy. So anytime they go to visit the mother-in-law, there's respect there. All the insults, the disgrace, the disrespect, and everything is no more there. So my advice to her is she don't need to live with her mother-in-law, maybe her husband family. No, let them rent their own place. Let them live together. If they go visit them, respect will take there. That's my advice to her.
All right. Thank you very much, Oluwato Singh. Thank you for calling. And there is the respect factor also. I mean, the story that Oluwato just relayed is one that is very concerning, and I think this is basically what Yemi from Ibafo was trying to point out when he mentioned the fact that majority of mother-in-laws are mean to their daughter-in-laws. So I mean, talking about taking the daughter-in-law as a house girl, doing all the chores, doing all the activities, doing all the cooking, that is not something that any new wife or even an old wife would accept. I'm not going to be your slave just because I married your husband. Just because I married your son. That is most definitely not going to happen. So I can only imagine the state of her mind at that point, just wanting to really, really leave that apartment. So basically, her advice to Sheyi is, Sheyi, don't do this. Do better. Make sure that you move out of that house. So at least when you go to visit your mother-in-law and the rest of the family, they'll respect you just as you respect them, because you're not in each other's space. Very important point. All right. If you can call back, please go ahead and do that. In the meantime, I'll take this message. This one is coming in from Oluwamayoko Otegbayo from Agor Palace Way, Okota, Lagos. So this one says, in-laws matter. I prayed about many things that mattered to me. I stayed in a family house while growing up, and I said to myself, I will never be married into a family house. But I found myself in a family house with toxic in-laws who lie about everything. I prayed so much after 3 years of staying with them, and God gave I and my husband our own apartment. Please do not try it if you're the flying type that has everything going well for you as a lady. Stay away from in-laws palaver. It's the last sentence for me. Stay away from in-laws palaver. Oluwamayoko is saying, I have been there. Believe me, it's not the best idea. It's not the best idea. Just make sure that you have your own space. It's very important. Have your own space. Have your own space. This is key. Oluwamayoko is saying this from the perspective of just not having the best time when she was living with her in-laws. She said toxic in-laws. Toxic. So I can only imagine the state of things in that house when you stay with toxic people. So she's saying, Sheyi, so that this is not your case, so waka. Hello, good evening. Hello? Hello, are you there? Hello? Okay. Okay, I'm gonna let you call me back. The number is 07000 917 917. 07000 917 917. You can also send in your text or WhatsApp messages to 0703 175 6537. 0703 175 6537. Hello, good evening. Hello? Okay, call me back. Let's talk more about this. This is a very difficult place to be in, particularly if some answers to some questions have not been answered. It's a further impossible place to be in because she hasn't spoken to her fiancé yet. So, what is your advice? Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. Thank you for calling. Please, what's your name?
My name is Alice from Bariga.
Okay. Alice, go ahead, please.
About the thing, I would not advise the lady to talk to her fiancé about the issue because I've seen a lot of cases like that. That when you stay with your women, you have problems. You know how close you guys will be. You surely have problems. There's why you want to respect them, you can't satisfy them. That is it.
Again, I mean, Alice, I see where you're going, and I respect your point of view. But let me point out that there are people who have called tonight and have told us that this is not the case with them. So let's not generalize it because it truly is not the case with all of them. Okay?
Yeah.
Yes, go ahead.
My advice is she should talk to her fiancé. They should get an appointment and continue with their life. You guys see yourself from afar. There's your threat in it. They are sharing together.
Thank you so much, Alice. Thank you for calling.
You're welcome.
Okay, seeing yourselves from a distance is much better than seeing yourselves at close distance or in the same proximity. Alice is saying this because she thinks that it's just better off for you to live in a different side or a different area as opposed to staying in with somebody that you used to be in a relationship with. It's not easy actually. I'm thinking about it and I'm like, this is not, I don't know how this is going to play out. And then the concern for most people is that relationship, and of course, privacy. Privacy is one of the biggest concerns here. Man marries wife. Man needs privacy with wife. Man needs to know his wife, what she looks like, what she feels. Yes, dating would have covered a good amount of this. If you were in a good relationship, you would have covered most of this already in the course of your relationship. But I mean, it's not easy, particularly to be in a situation where you think everything will go well and then it doesn't. It doesn't. Or it goes well for a period of time, only for it to not go well going forward. I have actually heard of situations where everything is fine between the fiancé or daughter-in-law and the mother-in-law, and then all of a sudden she starts acting a certain type of way, and then you're feeling like, this is just all sorts of toxicity. I don't think I can cope with this. So the truth of the matter is, not everybody will share a good story about their in-laws, but not everybody will share a bad story as well. So why don't you call in? Call in to 07000 917 917. Also send in your text or WhatsApp messages to 0703 175 6537. 0703 175 6537. On what side of the spectrum do you lie on? What exactly do you feel concerning this? How does it apply to you? Do you know anybody that has been through this before? What was the experience? Did they overcome? Did they have a different story today? Why not go ahead and share? Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. Thank you for calling. How are you doing today?
Okay, you're speaking to Tonya.
Hello, Tonya. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Okito.
Okay. Thank you very much, Tonya. Please go ahead.
Well, I don't know the full gist, but the two calls I listened to, yeah, I just feel I want to understand something first of all. Like, does she live with the guy's family?
No.
Okay, she lives on her own.
Yes. She lives with her own family.
Okay. I told you you're talking concern because the last conversation we had was like, in-laws are different. Yours might be something different from all that.
Yes. And the reason I mentioned that was because we've had callers call earlier saying to Sushi that it's not a good idea that her fiance lets her live in the same house or in their family house because of intrusion from the family or people being unkind to her, just basically in-law wahala. So that's why I said that.
Yeah, well, in such situation, right? I would say, you coming into someone's life, you have to accept everything that wants to face you. And you have to get ready because, if this marriage is just like a lifetime experience. You understand it? So, before you start thinking of starting up a relationship of your own, number one, you should always have it in mind what you're going to face. If you really want to go into marriage, you get married, for example, let's just say, am I really speaking to your point?
Yes, please go ahead.
Okay? I feel even in a relationship, we get tired of it. Let's just say for the first start of your marriage, or maybe let me just make it more 5 years. You start getting tired of that relationship. No matter how strong you think you are, but you have no choice because you've made a commitment to yourself and you can't just go out. Sometimes I want to make sure that my relationship, I used to remember then, I was just trying to make my relationship the best. But I don't know, I was putting myself in something I can't really get myself out from. So, whatever she's facing right now, I don't want to know it. As a woman, you should always have it in mind that, yes, this book I'm about to create right now, the ending, if I want to make it happy, and if I want to make it look sad. That's when and if she really wants to, if the relationship, she really wants it, if she really wants it, you fight for what you want. Like, you don't need to do too much to impress who you need to be with. Yes, you learn to be with someone who gets to understand you. Not everybody understands how you feel because you don't feel out. You kill yourself because you're trying to make your second party happy. And that is what is really affecting, let me say, 6% of we right now.
Okay, so what is the advice? What is the advice to change?
My advice to her is, if this is, you want to make it right, you make it right. Don't be scared of what you're facing right now. You can do what you want inside you if you want to make peace. And if you feel it's not bad for you, you make your decision. That's it.
Interesting. Well, Tonya, thank you so much. Thank you for calling.
All right, bye.
See, I know gonna lie, this topic tonight, or this story, because the story with the profile, this story tonight gets us to be. It gets us to be. Because anyhow you look this matter up and down, left or right, anyhow you look now one person, the entire thing they revolve around one person. So at the end of the day, you can't ask yourself, now me be the problem, I being this other person. Now be the problem. Now my husband be the problem, being my wife be the problem. So different things across different points in time. But would that be better if you have disagreements and whatnot in your own private apartment, or would that be better if you have disagreements or whatnot in a place where you are being fully expressive and being in that state? Is that advisable? 07000-917-917. That is the number to call. This is Adult Conversations on your Women Radio, WFM 91.7.
If you love us, like us.
And if you don't love us, like us.
It's facebook.com/.
WFM 917. If you want to see what we look like, subscribe to our channel on YouTube.
Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at
WFM 917.
Here is a list of excuses that will no longer be accepted.
I beg, give me your hotspot. I want my data, but this one too much.
Please, could you put your Wi-Fi on? I'm out of data and the recharge card seller has closed.
Oh, I would have recharged though, but I can't find my wallet.
Please, I've got cramps and I can't get up. Can you share your hotspots?
Don't know where my internet token is, and I need to quickly buy data. Please, could you share your hotspot till I find it?
Hey, Jumbo, I said buy data, but that recharge card seller no dey ever get change. How good you?
Now there's really no excuse to ever be out of data with Glow Brody Data. Dial *321# to borrow data now and pay later.
I beg, I just share your hotspot. This rain bad. Make thunder no go fireman.
Largest data network, Glow, grandmasters of data.
Mr. Johnson, I'm here for my money.
Baba landlord, I'm very sorry. My wife is very sick and I have spent all the money I have.
I've been telling you to ensure the health of you and your family with a reliable HMO.
Reliable HMO? Which of them can I go for?
Ice Medicare HMO Limited. They are one of the accredited health maintenance organizations with thousands of quality and accredited healthcare providers nationwide on their network. They have corporate plan, retail plan, student plan, and even community-based health plan. Also, their premium is pocket friendly.
Please, where are they located?
Their office is located at number 2 Osho Street, Okpebi Link Bridge, off Okpebi Road, Ikeja, Lagos. Their phone number is 080-93-555-863 or 080-3263-9058. Their website is www.ivesmedicare.com. Ives Medicare, health protection in your corners.
My name is Shegun and I'm the village man. All of una way love to blame us village people because una business no dey do well. Say una think say we no get our own mission. I beg you, we village people not get your time off. Check yourself first. Village people aren't the reason your business isn't growing. Introducing MoneyPoint, a business bank that helps you realize your business dreams with easy access to quick loans, ease of payment collections, and general business management tools. Visit www.moneypoint.com and let's help you power your business dreams. MoneyPoint, powering dreams.
Is this a mistake? What? What's that? What happened? Still, I just bought 1,000 naira Glow data, and instead of the usual, I got 3.9 gigabytes. Guy, I swear, that's how I saw you too. I bought 2,000 naira data yesterday, and I got a whopping 9.2 gigabytes. Wow! Your data is just always bigger. Yep, and always better. I swear down. Babe, why are you moving your SIM?
I'm leaving this network and getting a Glow SIM immediately. And I'm not giving you my new number. You're on donation. Why didn't you tell me about this new Glow data plans?
Glow new data plans. Always bigger, always better. Babe, sorry now. Yes, get a Glow SIM card today and enjoy bigger, better data on the Glow network. Just dial *777# and choose your plan. And if you link your NIN to your Glow line, up to free 20,000 naira bonus awaits you.
Unlimited.
Oh yeah, give the left and right, son.
You think you know Nigeria's biggest tunes?
This battery is a problem.
Then get in the ring on the Big Tune Show every weekday from 4 to 5 p.m. on WFM 91.2. Be ready.
Radio Doctor, your free phone-in health consultation program. Every Wednesday from 10 to 11 a.m. brings you family health.
It was discovered that people who are lacking in vitamin D are usually more likely to become depressed.
Call in
in to get free consultation on family health on 07000 917 917 or 090 256 25455. You can send in questions, cases, and related contributions on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at WFM 917. Text and WhatsApp on 0703 175 6537. You can listen live online at www.wfm917.com. Radio Doctor, Nigeria's first free consultation radio health program on WFM 91.7, the voice of women. 21 minutes to 8 on Women Radio WFM 91.7, Nigeria's only radio station for women and their families. You're welcome once again to Adult Conversations. My name is Sumto Titilayo Ajama. Tonight we're profiling Shei's story, and Shei is a business development executive who recently got engaged after 2 years of dating. She says her fiancé is not so wealthy, and she doesn't have a problem with that. But her problem is the fact that he still lives with his parents. He still lives with his parents. So she's saying, though he's not wealthy, she knows enough to know for a fact that he does have a good amount of money that can get them a good rented apartment. But she's saying, so why would he not want to do that? Why would he not want to do it? So it's a crazy situation, and she doesn't know why. Also because she hasn't spoken to him about it. She hasn't spoken to her fiancé about it, but she says she doesn't want to come off as selfish or self-centered. So what should she do? What should she do concerning this tonight? 07000 917 917. That's the number to call. 07000 917 917. You can also send in your text or WhatsApp messages to 0703 175 6537. All right, kindly call back if you can. So, what are your thoughts concerning this? Enough of different schools of thought. At the moment, I want to hear more. I want to hear schools of thought I haven't thought out at all. I haven't thought through at all. There are cases where you want to express yourself in a certain way, and it's a bit difficult, and she doesn't want to come off as selfish or self-centered. So that's a concern for she. Hello, good evening. Good evening, please. I need your volume to increase. I need you to speak louder, please.
Good evening.
Much better. Thank you so much. Good evening. How are you doing today? Okay. Please tell me your name and where you're calling from.
My name is Kenny, and I'm calling from Ibafu.
Kenny from Ibafu.
Yes.
Okay. Please go ahead.
My own advice to Shay, okay, this matter is a very long matter. So she has to sit down herself, think about getting them. Still in a family house is never easy. Because in a family house, if the younger one of the elder is there, or the senior one is a problem. If it's still the only the mother, they can build their own relationship with the mother, that they are going to understand themselves very well. Because one day she's going to be a mother, and she's going to give birth to a boy, as in a boy.
Mm-hmm.
So she should think about it very well. One thing, if she's a business, like she's said, she's working at it.
Okay.
Hello?
I'm with you, Kenny. I'm with you. I'm just in that headspace of what's the worst case scenario? What is that thing that she is so fearful about?
Yes. She should not be scared about the family members at all. Like a caller there said, she should trust herself first. That's the most important thing. If the family members are not much, if it's the only mother, I can say she should stay with the family.
Okay.
Because if the younger ones or the senior ones are there, maybe she might dress in a way that her husband will be satisfied with the dressing, and the family is going to complain about it. You know, that's the problem.
Very true.
They might poison the mind of their brother.
Concerning she.
Yes. The way she dressed, the husband might be satisfied with it. Maybe the family members are not okay with it. Or the way she go out. You know, there are so many reasons.
And then because she's under their roof, because she lives in their family house, it's going to be an issue.
And again, if the husband is Yoruba again, Yoruba people, their wife, most how should I put it? There are some states that once you are married to them, you are totally their slave. Once you marry to the family, they will believe that you are the one to wash clothes, to do all the house chores, just because you are a wife.
So is this why you're advising Sheyi to?
So my own is, she should call the guy, sit him down, let them talk things out. This is not exactly your mother. Is it with your mother? Is it with only your mother or with your sister? They should talk things out very well. She should understand the guy, the point of the guy. The reason why the guy wants to live in that house is because there are so many reasons. Because the situation of Nigeria now, house rent is very expensive. If you want to live in a conducive area,
yes.
So maybe the guy wants to okay, my father has a house. Let's stay there for the meantime to build our own apartment. So she should try to understand the point of view from the guy too. Not that she should just conclude that because he's not renting house, I'm not staying with him, or I cannot get married to him. No.
All right. Thank you very much, Kenny. Thank you for calling.
Welcome. Yeah.
Serious subject of the mother-in-laws of family using the wife or using the woman as a house help is sadly too common. It's too common. And she's basically saying you're going to need that privacy. So try and talk your man into getting you that place. Yes, he doesn't have a lot of money, but you've also said that he can afford to get you that rented apartment where you and he can stay and you can build your home. Kenny is really particular about that privacy. It's very important. As she's saying, for the sake of Sheyi in this case, then they're going to need that personal space. That personal space is very important, and that is something that they should definitely not just give away just like that. At this point, I feel like it's not in the interest of anyone to be mean to their family, whether your sister-in-law, brother-in-law. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. And it's this kind of things that lead people to just want to go away and go far away. But if you're in the case like Adeze Amos, who has just one son, and a left or right wing in their twin duplex where you can stay by yourself, why rent an apartment where you can stay for free? And as Kenny rightly said, rent, everything don't cost. It don't cost. Can you afford it? It don't cost. Can you afford it? All right, go ahead and call me back. The number is 07000 917. You can also send in your text or WhatsApp messages to 0703 175 6537. Hello, good evening. All right, call me back. Call me back if you can. Call me back if you can. What is your advice to Shay tonight? Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. Thank you for calling.
This is Favor.
Favor, thank you. Thank you for calling. Where are you calling from, Favor?
From Ikorodu.
From Ikorodu. Thank you so much. Favor, please turn down the volume of your radio a little bit, please.
Okay. My contribution for the matter. I will advise the lady.
Yes.
Not stay in the family house. Even though you stay in the family house, you still have problems. If you do not even stay, you will have problems. Because family people, you cannot trust them. You cannot please them. You will try to please your mother-in-law.
I don't hear you now. I don't hear you.
You will try to please them, but they will just take you as a slave. So let the girl call our boy, our fiancé. Let them talk. I do not advise the girl to stay in that family house.
Okay. Thank you very much, Favor. Thank you for calling. Again, it goes back to this house help thing. It goes back to this house help situation. The chances that the man's family might misuse the fact or misuse the opportunity of the fact that they're seeing this woman right in front of them, and before you know it, they're invading her space and using her for chores and all of that. Nobody wants to do that, particularly when you're in a new home, in a new phase with your husband. You just got married, you come to enter house and tell you, oh, you go wash pots, you go do this, you go do that one. And that my cousin picking, they come, she don't get anywhere, she go say, me at the come out, now you go babysit this picking, now you go cook this on. Mama go out, but you know, say she know the chop, pando here, and we get salt for inside. So you go just do the one we don't get. The whole thing is even just listening to some of the things that can possibly be said, it will totally turn you off from living in a family house with your husband. In this case, she is saying she hasn't spoken to him. So she doesn't even know why he doesn't want to rent the apartment yet. But a lot of callers tonight have boldly said it that she is better off that you live alone with your new spouse when you get married. Hello, good evening.
Hello. Yeah, it's Tonya. I called recently.
All right. We're rounding up very soon. So, Tonya, 1 minute. Go ahead.
Okay, see, that gives me privacy. That's what I'm saying. And everybody should try to understand her too. Okay, it's not about her being in the family or not. She needs privacy. She wants to get to know the person she wants to be with. That's just it.
Thank you very much. Tonya. You summarized that very well. Thank you. All right, so Tonya is saying to round things off, she just needs privacy. She needs her own space with her man. So this might sound like something a lot of women will be able to resonate with, will be able to understand, because the truth of the matter is, when you're newly married, it's hard to now start saying, oh, this is the space you're in and you want to share it with your family. It's not easy for that kind of thing to be in, but there are exceptions to the rule. For instance, the emphasis on relationship. If you're in a good relationship with the family members of the man you're about to marry, then if you're okay with living with them to the point where you know that relationship that's good already will still be good, then why not? To each their own. If she is saying, I'm not sure that this will make sense for me, I'm not sure this will work for me, then she has a right to her own opinion. She has a right to feel the way she's feeling concerning the story. So I'm going to quickly go on Facebook and see if there are any messages left. Tonight, so many points of view have been laid out as regards this story, and there's so many points of view that Sheyi needs to consider tonight. But one thing remains very important. All right, this is one message coming in from Kamen Godwin, who says, there's nothing like being selfish in this case. Whatever might be going through your mind as a cause for him still under his parents' roof is an assumption. So you have to get your facts by sitting him down. So I was going to say that Sheyi would not know anything for sure if she doesn't actually talk to him. So talking to her fiance should be the top on her list. Then all the other things will fall into place. When you hear his point of view, then you know what it is that you can take, what it is that you can't take, and then make your own decisions at the end of the day. So the truth of the matter is it might be hard, but that conversation is very important, and I don't see why it would be hard. She is concerned that she will come off as selfish or self-centered, but is that really the case? I think not. So that conversation is definitely needed. Well, this is what we call it today on Adult Conversations Tonight. Thank you so much for calling, contributing, sending texts, sending messages on Facebook, on WhatsApp. Thank you. It's been a very interesting conversation tonight, and I thank you for all your contributions. I'm sure that Sheyi will be able to take an informed decision from all the advice you've given tonight. On behalf of Sheyi, I thank you again, and I hope you'll join me tomorrow, same time, 6 to 8 p.m., same station, Women Radio 91.7, same program, Adult Conversations. Thank you very much to the engineers on duty and you for listening. My name is Somto Titilayo Ajama. Good night.
WFM 91.7.